The rise of true crime. Ooh.
One of the victims was stabbed over 40 times. Ethan had no fingernails left.
I can't believe Vice did a documentary on us. Shouts out to @Vice in here.
Maybe he dug into him and he wanted to get the DNA off.
There is this frenzy with consumption of true crime.
If you log on to the major streaming websites right now, true crime is on every front page.
You're not really a celebrity.
Okay, that's not even like, this isn't new though. Like this has existed for so long. Bro, I'm losing it. Look at, oh my God, look at her little foot. Look at her little foot. Look at her little foot. What is she even doing? Like, it makes no sense. Itching her nose. Nose is itchy. Uh-oh, she woke up from how itchy her nose is. Yeah, you're not wrong. She is very cat-coded. That's not even a joke. I can't stop looking at her. What are you looking at? Huh? All right. I'm going to take her outside real quick, chat, to give it a little pee-pee time. She just woke up. She probably needs to pee. It's pee-pee time. But I will, of course, continue the video.
But, like, they don't know my name. They know my attacker's name.
My father is the happy-faced serial killer.
My father murdered my mother when I was 11 years old.
What the fuck? He was murdered by Jeffrey Dahmer.
It's everywhere, and it's not always honest, and it's not always with the best intentions behind it.
There it is. There's the picture. Everybody knows. People forget. This is a real person's tragedy.
We're getting ready to sue Netflix. You can't do that. It's public record.
Do you fantasize about cracking the case?
Of course. Oh my God, it's in the guy's blood. Holy shit.
We had never experienced anything to this level. It was almost like a hurricane.
Listen, I think you need to tell the FBI you have a video.
W murder chatters losing their minds? Yeah, this is what you came for!
It takes a lot of vulnerability to tell your story. And I've been telling it on and on and on again. However, if I tell my story my way, I don't get triggered. I was attacked by Dirty John Meehan. He was a psychopath. My mom married him not knowing he was a psychopath.
Tara Newell's stepfather, John Meehan, spent years conning her mother. When she finally caught on, things escalated quickly.
My family hired a private investigator, found out he was a really bad guy, and he's done horrendous things to multiple women.
Meehan threatened her family, stole from her mother, and spied on her sister. Eventually, he cornered Newell in the parking lot of her apartment building.
John grabs me by the waist and he looks me in the eyes and says, "Do you remember me?" He tried covering my mouth. I bit him as hard as possible. I thought I was being punched and I was actually being stabbed. And then I ended up kicking the knife out of his hand. And this is kind of triggering still, you know, but I feel it's important for people to know I got the knife and I'm stabbing him. And I ended up holding his head and then I did second to last one to the forehead.
I love that you said there's a podcast about it and it was good. When like the entire video is about how fucking damaging true crime is. By the way, which I'm a slut for true crime too. And, you know, we do have this like real callous, is that the right word? Like this like disrespectful almost attitude towards victims in this circumstance. We treat this like real life insanity as though, yeah, callous indifference. Exactly. That's what I was thinking of. Like we treat it as though it's like nothing, you know, it's like, oh my God, this dog is going to be the end of me. She peed, by the way, like a good girl. Yeah, it is depersonalized. It is insensitive. Like, what is this? You just woke up. There's no fucking shot that you're this bored immediately. Like, you know, you didn't even let him. Look at this. Oh my gosh, she's trying to open the gate. Oh my gosh, she's so brilliant. It's crazy how brilliant she is. Fuck, I love this dog so much. Holy shit, she literally has a PhD. Pretty sure this dog has a PhD. We don't treat it like nothing. We treat it like hot new content, and that's even. We don't treat it like nothing. We treat it like hot new content, and that's even worse. Yeah, well, you know, it's hard not to. Captivating. W murder.
And then the last one was in the eye, the softest point of entry to the brain. That made him brain dead.
Yes, her cage is smaller now because
at the hospital.
Her cage is smaller now because it's like functionally supposed to behave like a crate. For those of you who are wondering why I did that, it's because I want the entire cage to be the bed so she doesn't piss or shit on it. And therefore I will take her out periodically every hour or so that, you know, she can pee outside, and then she starts getting used to peeing outside, even though she did technically pee on the bed one time already.
A few days later. The story was picked up by local news, but didn't really catch on otherwise. Until about a year later, when the Los Angeles Times turned it into a podcast series, and it went viral.
It is a podcast that has captivated millions.
Then came a scripted series on Bravo, which ended up on Netflix.
I'm just really grateful that you're alive.
And a documentary on Oxygen.
This guy grabbed me by the waist.
In all of them, Tara's attack was the dramatic climax.
You might have heard about it. It was called Dirty John. Dirty John.
Dirty John was everywhere, and so was Newell.
So you think about that day how often?
Well, right now, every single day, because the show's going on.
She went on the Dr. Phil show, and the Tamron Hall show, and the Kelly Clarkson show.
Seriously, this story is crazy.
So what is it like when your story goes?
I mean, I don't get it. Like, it's not. Part of me also is like, I mean, she's like, you know, she should, as a victim, be able to make money off of it if she wants to. But it's like, it is her story to tell, and she is telling it, you know what I mean? So, like, I don't really understand. Is there a complaint that comes after this?
Viral like that.
You're kind of like a pseudo-celeb in a sense. You're not really a celebrity, but, like, so many people know who you are in your story. They don't know my name.
I wish they made a podcast about it. They did.
Attacker's name.
This is the stuff that'll keep you up at night.
Newell's story wasn't some outlier. It was just the latest viral true crime sensation.
I'm afraid we're gonna find you chopped up in her freezer.
This was one of the grisliest crimes in a decade.
One night of true crime.
Today, true crime is one of the most popular forms of modern entertainment.
Okay, you can't fucking put the jinx in there, because that one actually literally got a cold case to be solved. You know what I mean? It's a bit different when you genuinely solve a cold case.
Almost everyone is making it because almost everyone is consuming it.
JCS did not blow true crime up. JCS blew up because of the true crime blow up. White women blew up true crime. Okay, the idea that true crime was blown up by like a YouTube channel is crazy. I love JCS. I love watching JCS videos, but absolutely not did JCS blow up true crime. If anything, Serial, yes, I think Chelsea is correct. If anything, Serial probably was like a bigger tinder on the fire of true crime. True crime has always been pretty successful, pretty popular. Like I said, shouts out to white women. But Serial kicked it into high gear, basically.
4 of the top Apple podcasts last year were true crime. And Dahmer, the recent Netflix series about the famous serial killer, was one of the most watched shows in the streaming service's history.
Human beings.
I'm not gonna lie, I know Jeffrey Dahmer's show was problematic and the victims' families hated it, but god damn did I fucking consume the shit out of that. It's just hard. I'm not the world sucks. I'm not gonna be a good guy in my content consumption. It's just, it sucks. I know I'm a bad person. I recognize it. It's like, the way I see it is like, I operate under the full knowledge that when I drink milk or consume dairy products, that's a byproduct of a lot of fucking cow rape, okay? They shove rods in them and they fuck them up, and it's disgusting and it's inhumane and it's really fucked up. And I just, I'm a hedonist and I can't get myself to not consume it. Actually, that's not even true. I don't really consume a lot of dairy. I actually do drink a lot of flax milk instead, because the macronutrients are better. But and oat milk is really delicious as well, even though the macros are not that great. But regardless, my point is that, I know that it's bad, but I'm not going to stop myself from doing it. You know what I mean? It's just fucked up.
As being interested in crime
I'm
as
a bad
storytelling medium is as old as storytelling.
Joe Berlinger has been making true crime documentaries for decades. His work includes classics like Paradise Lost and a string of newer hits like his Conversations with a Killer and Crime Scene series.
Why do you think people love true crime so much? Why are they obsessed with it?
I think it's part of the human condition. Staring into the abyss of evil has always been something that has fascinated people. And why true crime works. And
you are so pro-consumerism, and it's so wild to me. Why? Because I don't have God to fill my fucking God hole, okay? You gotta, something that makes you feel is important. You know what I mean? And for me, it's that. You know what I mean? I think it's a really good sedative. If religion is the opiate of the masses, what do you do when a society is not religious? You have to fucking find some other opiate. And it's commodity consumption. I love that shit. Conspicuously. Goods are fun, products are neat, the problem is capitalism. Yeah, I just I don't know. Why do you enjoy things curious? Exactly. It's weird. Sag take, look inward, my friend. Yeah, dude, I know. I should fucking find the light of Allah or something. I don't get it. Oh. If any lessons need to come out of the USSR is that the population needs to occupy themselves. Not just that. Not just occupy themselves, but also commodities like treats. They need treats. Coffee is one immediate example that comes to mind. Fucking rebellions have happened due to a lack of access to fucking something as basic as of an amenity or a commodity like coffee. It's so stupid. Yeah, bread and circuses, baby. It's true. Are you opium? I never seen you wear Rick. Slatty Matty. Get a hobby, do a sport, build something, learn a language. First of all, I do all of those things, and perhaps a lot more than most. I am asked this question on interviews and things like that, and it's one that I think about a lot, where back in the day I used to think man, I have nothing going on in my life, I have no fucking hobbies or whatever. And then I realized no, I think playing video games, watching anime and other TV shows, working out, and maybe even sometimes traveling, having a dog, these are all effective things that take up a lot of my time other than my work, right, which takes up most of my time. I think that it's fine. I live a very fulfilling life. Also, hobbies famously don't involve consumerism. Exactly. I just don't know. Like, I don't know. I think it's fine. Socialists in America, good luck selling your idea if people will not be able to shop a lot. Yeah, I mean, I look to neoliberal methods of control, and I actually see how effective it is. The idea of offering a false notion of choice to every consumer is incredibly effective. I've said this so many times. Right? Yeah, I play basketball. I have goals. I have body goals. I have basketball related goals. I have goals in my career. I don't know. And it fucking feels good too. It actually feels good. It feels good to consume shit. Like dumb shit. Flaxseed is gross nutritionally, 3s to 6s, and tastes like fish ass. It's low calories, and it gets the job done. Should we really be turning other people's pain into entertainment? This has nothing to do with the lack of God or treats. There are so many other things to entertain ourselves with, and I think this demonstrates a lack of empathy on a societal level. You are out of your mind if you think that like 90% of our entertainment isn't at the expense of other people's struggles, dude. What the fuck? Look at American football, my friend. The only difference is, are you consenting to that? Are you giving informed consent to that struggle? Or are you actually not doing that? That's the only ethical conundrum here with true crime, is that oftentimes people are not giving, informed consent to have their story be told in this way. All stories, especially good ones, are riddled to the fucking brim, filled to the fucking brim, riddled with conflict.
In all storytelling media is that it has perfect dramatic structure. There's a clear beginning, middle, and end. There's rising and falling action. There's an antagonist and a protagonist, each vying for the truth, and by the end of the film, both characters are changed. In the 50s, true crime was very popular, but people used to buy detective magazines. In the 30s, true crime was very popular, but it was more about buying souvenir programs at murder trials. You know, in the 19th century, you could buy tickets to public execution. People have always been fascinated by true crime. It's not a new phenomenon. It's just we've now given them such an easy way to tap into that. So of course it's gonna grow in popularity because people can access something and people can connect.
True crime isn't just a genre anymore. It's a whole identity. And there's seemingly no end to the perversely inventive ecosystem that's been built around the craze. Live podcast tapings, experiential walking tours.
The Old Salt Lake City Library in 1994 was the site of a hostage situation.
And for the extra obsessed, a visit to CrimeCon, where thousands of fans flock each year to immerse themselves in a weekend full of true crime. They recently added a cruise experience. True crime.
Like, a lot of this stuff is gross and perverted, but like I feel like you just as well as I do. Like, I don't take it to this level, like my interest in like the true crime genre, but I think people demonstrate this level of enthusiasm towards whatever the fuck they're into in many different facets of society. The only difference is like you can poo-poo this from afar when someone takes it too far, which I agree, this is taking it too far, but I'm sure there is something that you also consume that is like equally traumatic to the victims or whatever the fuck, right? That you are currently not considering as bad as true crime. You know what I mean? But yeah, there is like a weirdness to all of this. Definitely, I
is
agree.
even being taught in college.
True crime is essentially this subgenre of entertainment and journalism media.
Daniel Slakoff's class is one of several that have popped up in recent years.
So, I don't know if any of y'all live on Netflix like I do, but you probably have noticed there are a ton of true crime options.
Like many others who study true crime, Slakoff believes the current craze began with Serial, an investigative podcast about the death of a high school student.
So Serial blew up so quickly.
My friend played BTK on Mindhunter, and the real BTK sent him unsolicited letters to his home address from prison. He was very complimentary of my friend's performance. He got his address from one of these serial killer obsessed freaks that was working background on Mindhunter. What the fuck? That is insane, dog. That's fucking terrifying. Luckily, he's not getting out, so it don't matter. Also, Mindhunter was pretty good. Your friend better hope BTK doesn't end up on Con Air. Oh no, not Con Air. Wait, let me see what your friend looked like. What is Mindhunter trying to do with these BTK killer vignettes? A perplexing thread for Netflix series because we don't know what to do to catch him? What? The Wrap has an article limit? What the fuck? Who the fuck is subscribing to the Wrap, man? Come on, show me more. Mindhunter got canceled, sadly. I mean, I'm obsessed with psychopaths for other reasons, obviously. Like the psychopath test is great. I think that like psychopathy is very interesting to me. Antisocial personality disorder is very interesting to me. It's like one area of personal fascination with respect to like how someone can just like do such gruesome things and how to solve it, like how to medically solve this issue. You know what I mean? Because it is like one area that is currently impossible to contend with in the criminal justice system. And for that reason, it's like it's fascinating to me, at least, because it's like one aspect. It's one aspect of why I am not like a full-blown prison abolitionist, because I still think that there are people who you cannot I guess medically deal with. Like medical science is not good enough to rehabilitate people with antisocial personality disorder. It doesn't mean that it's like impossible, but given the nature of psychopaths, sociopaths, it's incredibly difficult to you know, figure out exactly, you know, it's incredibly difficult because like they're faking it all the time. But you also have to understand, not everyone with antisocial personality disorders are going to be criminals. Of course. I never said that. The majority, overwhelming majority of people with antisocial personality disorders are not criminals at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. No, faking it in the sense that like you have to fake empathy and you learn how to do it very well to survive and seem normal, which is why you can in a lot of instances fake rehabilitation even. Okay, she's getting bored. That's why she's chasing her tail. She has every toy on the planet. Come on now. The girls are fighting about what? I mean, no, the girls are not fighting. Matt Walsh hates Caitlyn Jenner because Caitlyn Jenner is trans. That's it. You seen this alpha dude get owned on a podcast?
Question.
Oh, I did, actually. This is the first time in TikTok history the chick humiliates the guy. First of all, it's not the first time in TikTok history, for the record. But the video is awesome. All right, let's continue with this.
It got so much attention that many people think it actually started what is called the golden age of podcasting, right?
Hello,
We're
everyone.
seeing a ton of true crime podcasts come out because of Serial or right after Serial.
The show, which was released in 2014, racked up tens of millions of listens and helped usher in a new kind of true crime fan who was more than just a passive consumer.
Right now, we're in this unique time that not only do we have true crime, the media, but we also have the social media focus surrounding it. So in a new way, people are getting engaged with these stories. So true crime has almost become a gathering space now. People come together to talk about, theorize about, chat about what happened. The continued mystery is a very common theme in true crime, often with people who have been harmed, killed. And so there is definitely some sensitivity that has to go into telling these stories, right? So let's go.
How's the internet affected just like the prevalence of this genre and the consumption of it?
There is so much
playing
social
tug-of-war
media
together,
content creation, but also communities gathering spaces around true crime now. And so I think that you see that clearly there's this thirst, right? There's clearly this thirst for true crime.
Tug-of-war on screen now? I can't.
Grief and the search for answers in the case of 4 University of Idaho students murdered in their sleep.
Okay, what day is this?
I hope people understand.
6 days ago. No, this is old. Never mind.
Christine Cameron and Alina Smith are old high school classmates who reconnected over their shared love for true crime.
All right, listen. I got something huge to tell you. Like, it is insane.
The two spend almost all of their free time running a Facebook discussion page they created last fall, after 4 students were mysteriously murdered at the University of Idaho.
Police still have no suspect, weapon, or motive in the killings of Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan.
Dude, always, by the way, like blonde women being victims of true crime, like it forms a perfect narrative. Like true crime lovers absolutely go wild, especially local TV as well. Goes absolutely wild when it's like a young blonde female victim. White.
Ethan Chapin and his girlfriend, Xana Kernodle.
The page, which has almost 230,000 members, is filled with people like Cameron and Smith, who follow the case like a sport, sharing news updates, posing alternate and often absurd theories, and reading into virtually anything that could pass as a clue.
He said that Ethan had no fingernails left.
What?
Yes. Must have scratched and clawed. Also said that one of the victims was stabbed over 40 times. I just can't imagine you're in a fight like that with somebody and lose all of your fingernails, right? So that means that person has a lot of...
took the nails off.
What's the purpose of him taking the nails off?
Maybe he dug into him and he wanted to get the DNA off.
Ooh. Wow, that's the smartest thing I've heard you say in the last 7 months.
Well, I mean, we're not like the police and we're not like a detective, but it is enthralling hearing what people have to say. And
Bro, this is literally like the same principle behind QAnon, by the way. Obviously not as dangerous as QAnon, but like the attitude is identical. The reason why QAnon slapped so fucking hard is that there's like a grand narrative, a grand conspiracy that's like an interactive video game almost, like an interactive game in real life. And you can basically play it with a community, right? Breadcrumbs that you were waiting for, the new Q drop, all the shit. It's choose your own adventure. Exactly. And that is the same attitude behind true crime and the people that like basically go beyond just like consuming true crime and then try to become detectives. And in a country where there's a 50% clearance rate for murders, you know, at that point, what are you supposed to do? You know what I mean? If the cops were doing a better fucking job, maybe there would be less true crime.
and seeing some of their backups to their theories.
She'll say she had the idea, but I'm telling you, I had the idea.
Also, this shit is, ow, fuck. Ow, Jesus Christ. You bit the fuck out of my hand, dude. Fuck me. Holy shit. Look. All my hands are so busted. Ah, come here. Gaia, come here. Gaia. Come here. Fuck. Little one. Raucous. Did you say cats are abusive? Well, Kai is a puppy right now. She's learning. You were such a guy playing tug. Go and clean your hand. Why? A puppy's mouth is like significantly cleaner and rid of bacteria than a human's mouth.
Let's start Facebook pages.
She also didn't mean to.
And let's see if we can get like an audience. Let's see if anybody even, interacts with us and if we have any members or following. It just ended up taking off.
Sorry, on my phone. So because I haven't had a chance to look how many member requests we have. One.
Is that a good Yelp? Fuck! No! No! Why? Every time we play a little bit, she immediately fucking goes and pees somewhere. It's crazy. Ay, 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 dude. So fucking bad. God, it's so annoying.
1,179. That's insane. That's a lot.
We are the admin, so we field questions and we approve anonymous posts and we take down things that are inappropriate. A lady sent me.
Yeah, the true crime stuff gets incredibly out of hand when, people play the role of detective and then like fucking end up doxing like random innocent people that they're so sure is responsible. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but like even fucking cops who are otherwise awful at least follow a certain set of standards when they're conducting an investigation. And although they're like oftentimes very racist and immediately play the role of like blaming the first black person that's like somehow tangentially involved or not even involved at all, that they just, found on the street or something, they still don't go as fucking hard as like random Karens online or random Redditors online in like, doxing random people that they truly believe are responsible when they don't even have a lot of the material evidence that the investigators have in their hands.
This is serious stuff. This is sent to law enforcement. So we're going to have to discuss that tonight.
Hello? Sorry, did you want to take a shower?
I roll over in the morning and look at like what's happened at night. And then that's probably like the last thing you see me doing at night before I fall asleep. I can't turn it off.
I was very active in my daughter's school. Like I used to be like the teacher's like room mom and stuff like that. And I used to cook, I used to clean, and now we barely have toilet paper. And Sometimes we have to use a paper towel to dry ourselves off after a shower. True story.
Good. How about you? How's practice? Yeah. Good morning. I am a middle school assistant principal, and then I have a husband and children that I come home to, and then I have this, you know, seeker world.
So no true crime at work.
Oh. I can't say that. But I mean, I mean, her damn sister. I don't understand why people are attacking her. I think they don't believe that it's really her. I gotta go back to work. I'm, you know, like serious business here where I make money. What?
Hold on. I have to tell you.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the least interesting part of true crime are the fucking Karens that are really invested in true crime. Like, I'm not really enjoying this documentary all